everyone. Welcome to the show Through the Lens of the Civil Engineer, where we are mostly concerned about the young students entering into the journey of civil engineering. Today we have Rajkumar Pinanti sir as our guest. He has done his BTech in civil engineering at Vignan's Institute of Information Technology and also has a lot of work experience in the same field. He has also interacted with more than 20,000 civil engineering students in various engineering colleges in Andhra Pradesh to bridge the gap between academics and construction industry. His mission is to prepare minimum 100 good and talented engineers for the society every year. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hello,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you for giving the opportunity to talk with you.
Yeah, our pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. So, so we can begin with our question, sir. So, my first
Yes, ma'am.
question, can you tell me about something about yourself,
Yes,
like
ma'am.
about your civil engineering? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I am Rajakumar Pininti. My native from I am Srikakulam district in Andhra Pradesh, ma'am. I am from village background, and uh, and I have completed my schooling in my native place. And after that, I have completed my diploma in MRK Polytechnic West Godavari in my state. I wrote the ESET examination, and I do my BTech in Vignan Institute of Information Technology. So after completion of my BTech, I have attended more than 50 companies for the interviews, ma'am, with my resume. So in each interview, what they saying is that no one gave me the opportunity actually at that time. So then I realized that so everyone saying that you are a fresher, you don't have an experience. So then I realized that experience at the starting time, we should not think about the salary, what we are getting. So we should think about the opportunity to explore ourselves and to gain the work knowledge and to get the good experience. So at that time, I got in a small opportunity and I joined in a small company in my locality. So they have given the opportunity to work at Jindal power plant at Angul near Bhubaneswar. So they have given me 5,000 salary and they have work at there. I have used to work 15 to 18 hours in a day. So and in my college campus also we have the campus placement actually Nagarjuna Construction Company Limited. So at that time in the first round I didn't get the opportunity. So at the so in the first round I didn't get at the time what I did is I have attended this all the 50 companies. So after working at there in the 5 months, I got the opportunity to work in the Nagarjuna Construction Company in the second round. In the second list they have released. In that list, my name is there, and they have called me, and I am joined at there. So at there, I have worked for Agra to Lucknow 6-lane expressway. It is the India's longest expressway. So that is the turning point for my career. So at there, I worked as a GET in the quality control department. So in a starting stage only, I have got the opportunity to work on a international level standards and the good standards, good to explore my qualities. I got so earlier I don't know that only I know the civil engineer only. So, but when come to the top companies, then I realized that we have planning department, we have QS department, we have QC department, geotechnical structural department, and contracts departments. So like that, there are many departments in the construction company. So the CPE department and the mechanical department, all those different departments are there. So execution department, in the execution also we have formation department is there, and structural bridges, the persons who are execute the bridges also we have. So at there I have learned many things, and I used to work for many hours, and I used to explore every day regularly used to study each one code book per day. So I got one good manager at there. He has supported me to explore the knowledge, and I have worked at there 1.5 year. Then my company transferred me to the for Amravati in my state. So as a DBMBC in charge. So in road we have between us Dhamar roads. Generally we'll call as a Dhamar roads in our normal native language. But so these are the DBMBC layers are there. So they have sent me to go for that. At there, I got the opportunity to work for the individually. individually I have to take the decisions, and I have to go for the crusher plants and everything. So I have worked at there for 6 months. Then I got the opportunity to work for India's longest railway project in GMR Infrastructure Limited, Eastern Railway Project. So Delhi, actually the railway project is Delhi to Howrah Railway Project. So that is comes under Eastern DFCC. So our GMR handled Mughal Sarai to New Bahpur 420 kilometers road project. In that, I got the opportunity to work in one package. So in that, some international consultants are there. So I got the opportunity to how the internationally, what is ISO standards, what is the QMS, quality management system. I got the exposure that how the work is civil engineering works are going on in international level. Then I got the good opportunity, and I have worked at there 1.5 years. So I have learned the many things. Then I got the opportunity. I have selected in the meanwhile. I have corrected in 3 companies: L&T and Tata Projects, and Afcons, which is Sopoji Polenji Group, where I am working right now. So then I got the opportunity to work for the foreign project, Ghana Railway Project. In Ghana, actually, Afcons, it is a first railway project, but for me, it's a second second project. So that is we are working in international railway project. So I thought that I need a international exposure, so it might be better for my career. So at that time, I have chosen to join with the Afcons. So it's a wonderful opportunity to me. Here I'm exploring international opportunities, very wonderful international things, ISO standards and QMS and all the standards, lean construction. Actually, now the construction industry buzzword is lean construction. Here we are learning the lean construction. We are implementing the lean construction. So I'm very proud to work in India's second largest construction company, and I feel very happy to work in this. Here the work culture is good and everything is good. So when I was doing this, all those things, when I was after getting 2 years experience, when I was joined in the GMR, I got one idea that meanwhile I wrote many government jobs, state and central government jobs, and I have attended many companies. Then I got the knowledge that so if I have this same exposure in my graduation, it might be useful for me. So I can be so during by working in the companies as a consultancy purpose, I have attended many IITs and NITs. So then I realized that if I have this exposure, so I may not miss the IITs and NITs. I have seen how the culture in the IITs and NITs. There are many opportunities to explore ourselves. So then I started attending the colleges. So when I was suppose for 15, if I take every 6 months, 20 days, if I take leave, 1 week I will spend with my family. Remaining days, what I do is that I regularly interact, take the permissions from the colleges with my own money. I take this as a mission, and it's my social responsibility. I feel that. So I have attended many colleges, and at that time I have attended, and I told them my experience, what I have done mistakes, what the lagging. I really personally feel that to become a successful engineer, proper guidance is most important. So that's why I started that one, and until now, from there I have started in my Andhra Pradesh, and more than 50 colleges I have attended, and more than 20,000 engineering students I have interacted. So then I realized that I have to start something. So then I start that as a construction leaders. Recently, I have started construction leaders. So in the main motto of the construction leaders is to bridge the gap between the academics and industry. So I have seen the topmost colleges and anything. So every college they are teaching the bookish knowledge. They are unable to teach what the industry is looking for. And up to now, I have interacted more than 500 industry people, and I have taken the feedback what they are looking in the construction industry also. So to bridge the gap between the academics and industry, so I started this construction leaders, and monthly two webinars on weekends. I am conducting 2 webinars, minimum 2 webinars with industry experts freely. So when we conduct the webinar, we will give the Zoom links and everything to them, and we will record the sessions if they miss also in our construction leaders YouTube channel. Also, we will upload the sessions also. So by that way, what they will get the exposure is that. So my mission is to prepare the minimum 100 good and talented engineers for the society. I want to fill the society with a successful engineers. So this is my ultimate goal. So I don't know at what range I may reach, but I will try my best. It's my responsibility whether the people follow or not follow. It's not. It's not. I don't think, but I have to do my duty. So without expecting anything. So I want to do, I will continue this one. So if any people are interested, and I will regularly guide them, no issue. And the construction literacy is not to give the construction industry knowledge, and to guide them in a proper way, and to explore them what are the industries looking for. So this is about my story, ma'am. And in addition to that, I am doing some social service activities also. My working in some two NGOs, just do it, and Savitribai Phule Education and Charitable Trust. In that also, I have adopted one student, one poor girl, and I'm doing some. We are going to donating, conducting the blood camps, and we are arranging the blood in all over India. Maximum, most probably Andhra and Telangana and Chennai, Bangalore, we are arranging the blood, and some cases to UP, and some other cases also we are using. As a part of social responsibility, we are doing this. This is about me.
Wow, that's so encouraging, sir. Like your hard work, your determination, and how you support the other students as well for this industry. That's so great, sir. So as
Thank you.
you interact with so many students. So my next question here itself comes that what type of resources should our students use, the young aspirants which are entering into this field of civil engineering? So what resources they should rely on? How should they learn and grow in this field, sir?
Yeah. Coming to the resources, actually, right now, the technology is the best resource. Actually, students are confusing state. Right now, they are in a the transition period. When they are in the 4 years of graduation, they don't take seriously, and no one is there to guide them in which way they are. So technology is the main resource. And one more thing is that in our surrounding, as a civil engineer, in the surrounding, we have many projects. We can see the buildings projects, we can see the road projects, we can see the bridge projects. Number of projects are going. So civil engineering is a common sense. If you observe, you can grab the knowledge, and you should have a zeal to learn, and you have to zeal to willingness to learn and update the knowledge. Here I would like to say one thing. For the any, not only civil engineering, in the private sector, we are like a product. So like us, we have number of products. The product will be valued which has a good qualities, good skills. So like that, we have to improve in a short time. The person who improved his skills well, he may get the good opportunity, he may grab the good opportunity. So technology is a good thing. We should know how to use the technology in a proper way. So nowadays, many YouTube channels are there, NPTEL video lectures are there, many platforms are there. And nowadays, after lockdown, many Institute of Concrete Institute, ICI, Bangalore, and many other institutes started webinars. So by attending these webinars, they can grab what the industry is looking for, what is the upcoming construction industry looking for. So this is the resources they can use. In the graduation also, they have laboratories. So laboratories also, they are most useful for them. So people neglect the labs when they are in the BTech. So lab also the most important thing to guide you in a construction industry.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for answering this question so beautifully. So
Yes.
here I can ask another question, which is like, as you were saying, you have got so many experiences. Like, what came in your mind while you were a student? What came in your mind? What made you decide to become a civil engineer?
Yeah. Actually, initially, I didn't think to choose this. Actually, normally I have selected the civil engineering field, but what made me interested, I can tell. But actually, I don't know, earlier when I was joining the BTech, I don't know about the software engineer, electrical engineer, and all those things. I don't come in my mind. So in my surroundings, wherever I see, so in the AEs, government AEs, JEs, the AWS, all these are working in the building projects, railway projects, some bridge projects in my surrounding. And also one more thing make me to explore myself in the civil engineering is that, so for any project, civil engineering don't need not to compare with other department. Why? Because for any project, if you want to construct a building, first civil engineering has to go at there. So civil engineering is a what is that key engineering in all civil engineering. If you want to suppose software engineer has to work in software field, so if he has to work, he need the resources, he need the buildings and infrastructure. So that infrastructure we are providing. Now in metros, in railways, many passengers are traveling. So we are the civil engineers, we are building the nation. We have to feel that we are building the nation. Like that, in our borders, soldiers are feeling that we are working for the we are safeguarding our nation. We are saving the nation. Like that, civil engineering don't need to compare with other field. We have our uniqueness. That's what I'm saying. That give me good interest, passionate in the civil engineering.
Yeah, that's so true, sir, that you are building the nation. You are giving so much to the nation. That's so great, sir. Yeah. So my next question to you is, this field is more of practicalities. So do you think that internships can help students to gain more of practical experience? Like after their graduation or post graduation or whatever, the degrees are there in this particular field. So after that, internships as necessary part, does it help?
Yes, ma'am. Obviously, intensives will definitely help to the people, but finally, I can say it depends on the people. Why? Because I have seen the many people. I have given many intensive to the students also. So based upon their interest, it might be depends. Why? Because internships not for yet to actually students will do if they generally people. I'm telling about the intensive students mentality. They will think that if I do 2 months or 6 months intensive, I may get something. Means like a job opportunity like that. So we should not think like an internship. Internship is an opportunity to explore what the industry is looking for. Why? Because in the academics we learn only the basic concepts. So we should not see the applications where we are working. So internship gives the where we are applying and how you are applying. We can know that. So internship not like a 2 months or 6 months process. It's like a process. We have to explore what the industry is going for. But definitely it will be useful if the person uses properly.
Yeah, exactly, sir. That depends on the person as well, like how he's just doing it for as a just that he has to do the internship for that purpose, or is he really learning from that internship that yes, this will make me industry ready. Yeah, this is so true,
Yes.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now, my next question to you is that what kind of personality traits do you believe a civil engineer must have, to be successful, to be the greatest, to the best, for being the best civil engineer? What personality traits does one have?
First one, I will say hard work. So there is no shortcut for success. So hard work is the one thing. And second one is willingness to work, willingness to learn, willingness to adaptability, adapt the atmosphere. And second, last one is patience. So why? Because nowadays many people, the youngsters thinking is that starting they need the lakhs of salaries and thousands, 30,000, 50,000 salary. So in one day, anything. So if you see any successful people, so in one day they are not become successful. So behind their successful story, they have a painful story. So they have done very lot of they have faced many hurdles. So I'm going to tell that patience is important. First you see the opportunity first. By using the opportunity, how can I explore my opportunity, how can I explore my skills and my experience. So willingness to learn and patience and hard work, these are the main things. One, the qualities and teamwork, these things one should have as a starting stage.
Yeah, so true, sir. And you are one of the examples, like how you are hardworking, you are paying to the industry, and how you answered it so beautifully that hard work is very much important. Without hard work, we cannot become that successful person, which we must need to become. Yeah, this is so great, sir.
Thank you.
So my next question here lies is that you have you have met so many students, you have done so much of work, you have worked for various companies. So you must be you must be having some challenges. You must have faced various challenges in this field. So what are the biggest challenges that you have faced in this journey of civil engineering?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, challenges means these challenges depend upon the people's attitude. Actually, in the civil engineering, what the generally we will face is that sometimes we have to work in some remote areas. Sometimes location is not same at one location, and some workers are skill supervisors, so we have to train them well. So that is the one thing hurdle the people are facing. And not only that, so nowadays, if you see that in the construction industry, the technology is improving. So with the technology improving, they are
Excuse me.
importing some
Sorry to
automated things. So how to by decreasing the manpower, so by using equipments, they are doing many things. So we have to think all those things, and we have to update how to update our things. These are the things we are facing updation. So person has to update his knowledge. So if you don't have the updation, we may face the challenge.
Exactly, sir. So true. So yeah. So what do you believe should be the number one priority for any civil engineer while you are working? What should you must pay attention to the most? What should be the number one priority, sir?
Number one priority means again I am saying the one more priority means willingness to work. And when the one word I will tell you, whatever the field he is working in the civil engineering, we have different departments, PA, QC, and planning, and any other department. Whatever the field he is working, he should be conscious about his work, what he is doing. So why? Because many people, so in the family emotions things also, they will show in their work also. We should not do like that. Work is work. Work is like a worship. So we should always try to give our best in the whatever the field we are doing. So we should always conscious about our work and what we are doing. We should aware about the work what we are doing, and willingness to learn. We have to update the knowledge. This is the skill. This is the main thing anyone should maintain.
Exactly, sir. Work is worship. Very well said, sir. Yeah. So this brings me to the last but not the least question, sir, that any special guidance which you would like to give to the students who are pursuing civil engineering? So as you have already guided us, you have said, but yeah, any special thing, any special guidance to everyone?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Actually, when they are in graduation and post-up graduation, so with my experience, actually in the LinkedIn also, many people who are in the graduation, post-graduates from LinkedIn, some NICMAR and some IITs and NITs and other colleges also they are approaching. So by that way, what I realized is that main thing, people are lagging in the self-confidence. So nowadays, people are missing the self-confidence. We should believe our self-confidence. We should be how to develop the self-confidence. We have to concentrate. And second thing, what I want to say is that when you are in the BTech secondary, you have to choose your job, what your dream job, where you want to work. So at that time, whether you want to prepare for the government job or you are preparing for the private job. If you are government job, in the government job, which job? You should be specific about your goal. Why? Because in the BTech time, people will they will be in a comfort zone. So the first thing what I want to say is that you have to come out from the comfort zone, and you have to develop the self-confidence. And third one is you have to define your job. Which one? So there are n number of opportunities in the field. So which job is suitable for you? So suppose if they want to prepare for the government jobs and other things in the graduation time, I told two good golden opportunities for the freshers. One is L&T, one is GATE examination, and second one is L&T Build India Scholarship. So I will concentrate on this. Why? Because in the through GATE they can go for the IITs and NITs for the MTech, and third one is they can enter into the second one is they can enter into the public sector units like Miniratna, Maharatna, Navaratna. There are central government organizations that with good packages, so they can enter into that. By this written examination, directly they will have the interview. If they qualify in that, they will get the directly join in that. And third one is the recently NIT Mumbai. Central government started NIT Mumbai. So in NIT Mumbai, they have to do like IIM Bangalore, IIM Ahmedabad. They may get the opportunity to do the MBA management courses in that with the same packages of 15 lakhs to 25 lakhs package. And also they recently in 2019 union budget, central government started one new program, Pradhan Mantri Research Fellowship, Prime Minister Research Fellowship, PMRF. So through this PMRF Research Fellowship, if you get the GATE score of 650 above per 1000, so you will get the opportunity to do the 5 years integrated PhD course in some IITs and NITs. During that time, government will give 70,000 internship, 70,000 stipend for every month. Even for the persons who did the BTech also, job also, IITs also, they don't get the directly 70,000 salary nowadays. So this is also one golden opportunity. But through GATE, you can do the what is that MTech, what is the MS and PhD in foreign universities like Singapore and Germany. So through our Indian GATE score, these are the wonderful opportunities. Some state government are also they are offering the jobs through GATE score also. So nowadays the GATE is the golden opportunity. Suppose if they miss the golden opportunity in the GATE, there is one more opportunity with the GATE syllabus, that is L&T Build India Scholarship. So L&T Build India Scholarship, I call it as a 1+1 bumper offer. Why? If you qualify in the L&T exam, what they will give is that for 2 years construction MTech in construction management and technology, they will give the 2 years course in some IITs and NITs, affiliated IITs, and also they will give the 13,400 stipend. And also what they will give is that after completion of that, they will give the minimum package of 7 lakhs in the on roll, permanent role, they will give the 7 lakh package in their same company. So they will get the good opportunity to work in India's topmost companies like L&T. And second one is they will get the opportunity to freely, they can do the MTech also. So these are the golden opportunities I really suggest for the students. So when they want to prepare for the government jobs, they also SSC, JEE, UPSC exam like what is that IES exam also there. So these are the golden opportunities. If they want to prepare for these jobs, they have to stick from the what the skills they need to prepare and what the previous year's papers they have to see. What are the concepts they are in weak, and they have to read the syllabus and what they have to explore those things. If they want to private job, if they want to settle in the private job, so what are the various opportunities in the private job? So which sector is suitable for me? So if it is the particular sector, what the things I have to improve, what the construction industry is really looking for right now. And in the LinkedIn is the best platform to explore the construction industry. In LinkedIn, many industry people are there. They are posting many things. Through LinkedIn, you can explore many things. You can understand the construction industry. So in LinkedIn also, many people directly ask, sir, I need the job in your company. So not like that. You should ask that, sir, I want to improve my skills. So what are the various things I have to improve? Like that, if you ask them in the LinkedIn, the industry people will answer to you. Will give the reply to you. If they respond positively, then you can ask the opportunity. Sir, if I'm also trying. If they give any opportunity, please let me know. And one more thing, people should believe that strongly. I believe that career starting 5 years is a learning stage, not a earning stage. And one more, and you have to always update your knowledge, always learn the new things. Why? Because earning starts with learning. If you stop learning, earning also will stop. So you should not think that if I get this job, I am settled like that. If you are thinking like that, your growth stopped at there. So you have to explore the things, and you have wonderful opportunities surrounding. And nowadays, due to the COVID situation, the people, actually one more thing I want to say, ma'am, if you give the permit me, actually the many companies, I have interacted with more than 500 industry people. So I have asked them, sir, up to now, at that time, I have interacted more than 15,000 students. I have 15,000 young engineers, sir. If you give the opportunity to the young people, you can support the young India. And if you want to give the job for the experienced person, you need to give the good salary, good amount of salary. So for the fresh graduates, they may not ask you this much of salary. So please give the opportunity to the fresh youngsters. I have asked them. So then what they said that every company has a bad experience. People, when they're given the opportunity, within 3 months or 6 months, people are leaving. So companies also invested much amount to train them. So if you leave like that, some people are when the students are interacting with me, what they're saying is that after joining in 2 months, sir, I want to change a company. It should not be like that. You got the opportunity, and you have to think that how can I improve my skills in a short time, and what are the opportunities I can develop with this organization, with this company, this project. So that's the thing we have to do. And future, one thing I want to say that the future is bright for the civil engineers, especially for the country like our India. So we have the wonderful opportunities. Only thing is that we have to come out from the comfort zone, and we have to explore. Why? Because so no one gets successful in one day. So this is my suggestion. When the people are interested to get my guidance, I'm always ready to give my guidance. So regularly I'm interacting with students. So if anyone asks the guidance, you can share my details also. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you so much, sir. It was lovely to hear from you. Each and every information which you have given would be, I hope it would be very, very helpful to all the civil engineering students, sir. Thank you so
Yes,
much, sir. This brings to an end of your interview, sir. So thank you so much once again for having your precious time with us. And it was really great. It was our honor to have you on board, sir. Thank you
it's
so much,
pleasure
sir.
to have an opportunity to talk with you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.